To the Danny Miner Daily Show, and we have a lot to talk about, folks. A lot to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about, and probably the only thing I want to talk about today, is because I want to critique this case inside and out. That's what I want to do. The Savannah Guthrie's mother's case. Okay? Savannah Guthrie. I just watched her and her family come on and plead to the kidnappers. They pleading to the kidnappers, folks. It was heart wrenching to watch this family plead to the kidnappers and telling their mom basically, hang on, mom, we love you. The country is looking for you, folks. It was absolutely heartbreaking. I don't know if the rest of you guys saw it. I'm sure you did, but it was gut wrenching. So, folks, let's critique this case from what we know today. Okay. First of all, we know the mom was abducted from her house. Okay. Then TMZ gets a letter. Okay. Gets a ransom letter, which they forward over to the FBI and authorities. The ransom letter saying they want this all in Bitcoin. In Bitcoin. Okay. That's what the letter says. Other than that, we don't know a lot in that letter, other than the ransom letter did say what the mother was wearing. So that made them think it definitely was the kidnapper because the kidnapper was able to say what the mother was wearing. So that's what we know so far with that. But now, fast forward to today. A couple people, couple news stations started reporting that it may be the brother-in-law. The brother-in-law might have ties to this and that, folks. But that doesn't look like the case either. They asked the sheriff, and the sheriff denied that right away, like that it wasn't the brother-in-law. Okay, denied that right away. Now there was police at the sister's house. There was police today at the mother's house again. And let me explain why that's weird. The police left the crime scene. So the police left the crime scene. When you leave that crime scene, you better make sure you didn't miss anything because that whole scene's a crime scene and it's protected by you. Once you leave that crime scene, it's not protected by you anymore. Okay? And the police left that crime scene, folks. And then all of a sudden, hours later, they come back with more officers and research it. So what does that mean? What that means to me as a detective of 14 years, a police officer of 27 years, they got more information. So they left that scene, then got more information and said, shit, we got to go back. Somebody gave them more information. That's why they went back to the house. The thing that's concerning me the most on this case, as a police officer, okay, they're not giving us any information. None. They're giving us no information, which is strange. Like the police, watch the sheriff. He's downright weird at his press conferences. Like strange and weird. Like he's trying not to say something or something, folks. To me, I think the police know a little more than we know. That's what I think. And do I think the police and the FBI rehearsed the family going on today? Of course. If the family went on, the police wanted them to. Okay? I'm telling you right now, the family did not do this on their own. The family did not do this on their own. The police, the FBI wanted the family to go live tonight. They definitely did. This was not the family's decision. This was going to be the FBI's decision. That's my guess. And it also let me know this. Yes, they sent a ransom note, but since the ransom note, they have not reached out to anybody. Okay? So nobody has heard from this kidnapper other than the ransom note, or the family wouldn't have been live tonight saying, okay, we're ready to talk, but we want proof of life. And to me, that's another FBI thing. They want proof that this mother's alive. They don't want to hear voices. They don't want to hear a video. They want some kind of proof. Because of AI being out there, you don't know, folks. You don't know. And we now know that there was blood at that scene outside that home. Now, not a lot of blood, but there was blood. Okay? Not a lot, but there was blood. I think the mother was put in a car. I don't think there was one person. I think there was multiple people here. I don't feel this is a one-person operation. I'll be shocked if it is. So that's what we know so far. The family told the mother that they love her. They called her mommy. They called her, what a great person she was, basically telling her to hang on. But folks, we have a time problem. We have a time problem. This poor lady has not had her medicine, and she takes this medicine every day. Anybody that took care of elderly parents, mothers, fathers as they got older know this. They need their medicine. Okay, daily they need their medicine. So, folks, this is very concerning. And to me, the kidnappers or kidnapper have not reached out yet, or this family would not have went out and said, we're ready to talk. So my thing is the kidnappers reached out with a note to TMZ and have not reached out back yet. And again, I'll guarantee you the FBI told this family to go live and talk about this. I'll guarantee you that, folks. 1,000% the FBI did that. 1,000%. So what do you guys think? What does everybody think out there, folks? Do you think that it's going to be somebody they know? Do you think it's going to be just a random person that broke into the house? I don't, folks. To me, this is someone they know. It's not going to be a random person. It's going to be somebody they know that broke into that house. And I'll be shocked, folks, if it's not. Totally shocked if it's not. I don't know about you guys, but I would be shocked if it's not. What do they do now? Okay, they're going to hope that the kidnappers reach out. Okay, especially by phone. Because if the kidnappers reach out by phone, they could trace the number. And that's what they're going to hope to do. They're going to hope to trace the number. I really do think that's what they're doing. Okay? But to me, they didn't reach out yet, folks. They didn't reach out. And like I said, I watched Fox News. The proof of life. They don't want AI videos. They want voice messages. They want somebody there to prove, yes, my mother is alive. Is alive. Now, folks, we just went over all the evidence that we have, right? All the evidence that we know the police have, okay? And that is not a lot. My thing is, the police have to be holding stuff back. And the police do this from time to time because they don't want the public to know something. They might be doing stuff just to get the suspect to do something. That's why they're not releasing any information. But to me, especially listening to that sheriff, the police know a little more. They might not know who did this, but they know a little more. Folks, I don't know how in 2026, there's no cameras, there's no videos. How? Folks, think about this. Kohberger, think about Kohberger, okay? Think about him. When Brian Kohberger was arrested, it was somebody that saw his car that started the whole damn thing. Okay? A gas station camera caught Brian Kohberger's car. That's how they solved this case. Mostly. That first original call that a camera caught Kohberger's car. Folks, the first thing you do as a detective when I went to a crime scene, look for cameras. We'd have one guy just searching the whole area, looking for cameras on people's houses that they might get. Okay? Or any kind of camera. Folks, in this day and age, did you see the house she lived in? It was huge. You tell me you have a house like that, okay? And you don't have cameras? I don't believe that, folks. I don't believe it. And I don't believe another camera didn't catch a vehicle or something going and leaving the scene. I don't believe that. There's neighbors, there's businesses. Something doesn't seem right to me. The police are not saying everything. I'll guarantee you they are not saying anything, saying everything. They know more than we know. But why are they keeping this? Usually they're not saying that something for a reason. But in this case, I don't understand it. Because if you have a picture of the car, you want to release it. If you have a picture of the guys leaving the house, you want to release it to somebody knows something. Okay? Or was something in that ransom letter? Okay, was there something in that ransom letter that said if you come get us, if you put a picture out of us, or you put a picture of our car, that we're going to do something to the mother, we're going to kill her? If you do anything like this, if you come get us, Could it be that? Could they know something like that and they're not saying? That's the only thing to me that makes sense. There's something in that ransom note that says if you show a picture of us, you show a car of us, you come get us, we're gonna kill the mother. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Now, I have no idea if this is true, folks, okay? So I don't have any knowledge of this. I'm just going by my police instincts that there's something in that ransom letter that the sheriff doesn't want to say. All we know about the ransom letter is they want Bitcoin, right? We don't really know nothing else. We know nothing about this ransom letter. And folks, I don't care who you are. You watch that sheriff, there's something up. He's so quiet about things and he's weird. Unless he's just a bad public speaker. But if you're a bad public speaker, put somebody else up there. But this sheriff is like confused. No, we don't know this. We don't know that. He's weird. And I don't know if he's being weird on purpose because he knows more and he doesn't want to say it. But I'm telling you, folks, police will hide stuff. If they know stuff that's going to help gain the suspect, they won't release it to the public. Now, again, I'm going to go back to that interview, which was heartbreaking, which was absolutely, and I'm getting comments there, he's trying to hide. Listen, I get that. And I think the sheriff knows something where they might not know who did this or who this guy is, but they know something. There had to be a threat in that letter, in that ransom note. There had to be a threat to the mother. If you do this, we're going to do this. If you do this, we're going to do this. If you relieve information or pictures of us, we're going to do this. You know, something's in that ransom letter. That's my guess, and I believe that will come out. That will come out sooner or later. And I don't think they want to put that out there again because the suspect probably threatened them in that ransom letter. Again, I don't want to put false information. I'm just giving you my opinion why I'm seeing these different things. And yes, there was blood. People in the comments, there was blood at the scene. Now, I watched Nancy Grace today, and listen, I'm not a huge fan of Nancy, okay? I think she's dramatic on purpose, you know, to get the audience to like her. I get that. But she brought up a point. She didn't think there was a lot of blood. So she didn't think there was enough blood that there was loss of life. She thinks maybe when they were getting the mom out, maybe her nose is bleeding, something like that. Nancy Grace does not believe there was enough blood there for an unalivement. And I don't either. I see some bits and pieces there. I don't know. You know, and they said he broke in. You know what I mean? Who knows? He could have got caught breaking in. You don't know. But they did say they found DNA of the mother, so I'm assuming the blood was hers, or they wouldn't have said they found DNA of the mother. So, folks, I'm going to tell you, as a law enforcement officer, as a detective, this is one of the craziest cases I've ever seen. Lack of evidence, zero. They're basically telling us there's zero evidence. Zero. None. Now, I believe this ransom letter came digital, okay? I don't think it came on a piece of paper. You know, if you got a ransom letter on a piece of paper, believe it or not, you put that letter, if you had a ransom letter, okay, a regular paper ransom letter, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but you actually put that in a fish tank. I'm serious. Cover the fish tank up, put some glue in there, and it brings out the fingerprints. I kid you not. So they'd be able to get fingerprints off an envelope, off a letter. But here they're saying it's digital. Unless I heard wrong, I did hear it was digital. Now you got to go back to IP addresses. I'm sure they're looking at all of that also, folks. All of that also. And again, I heard what you guys heard. This morning I woke up and people saying it's the brother-in-law, this and that. Banfield came out and said that. I can't think of her first name, but she said her sources are saying they're looking into the brother-in-law. Okay? That's what Banfield said. Again, right before I came on here, she's standing by what she heard. But the sheriff was said that is not true. So the sheriff shut that down right away that the brother-in-law had anything to do with this. Folks, I'm going to tell you this. Unless they know it's him and they're hiding all of this to get him in the act of something, I don't think it's the brother-in-law. I really don't. If it was the brother-in-law, there's no way they would have had them come on tonight and give that speech. That's my guess, folks. Okay? But I'm going to tell you, everything that's happening in this case is weird. And that's coming from me, detective, 14 years. I've seen it all, folks. I've seen it all. And this is strange that the police have no evidence. I mean, none. They had no evidence. They may, but they didn't tell us shit. They didn't tell us one thing. So to me, folks, yes, Ashley Banfield. That's her name. Thank you. Ashley Banfield. She's the original one that came out and said it might be the brother-in-law. She has sources or something. I'm reading the comments. As a conspiracy realist, this has ties to February 26th, Clinton's testimony. I don't know, Tommy. I don't know. You're going to have to tell me about that off air because I'm not sure what that means or how that goes. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this, folks. To me, and I'm going to tell you guys what I would look for. As a detective, I get somebody on the ransom note, full time on that ransom note. Get some evidence from that ransom note somehow. Get an FBI profiler to look at it because they can look at things and decide who it might be. Okay, so that is the key there. And I said this yesterday. Why TMZ? Why TMZ? Why not ABC? Why not Fox News? Why not News Nation? Why TMZ? TMZ is like, they're not like a regular news station. Do you know what I mean? They have entertainment news, they're everything. Like, I don't know if I would have sent it to TMZ if I was a kidnapper. Okay? So to me, that's weird. And to me, that could be evidence. Why TMZ? So I would think I'd have people thinking of that. Why TMZ? Because that could solve the case. Why did TMZ get this? So there's all kind of strange things, folks. And again, like I said, I would try to find that IP address that was sent the email. I'm assuming it was an email or whatever. Let's see what Tommy's saying. Epstein files. Tommy's thinking what I'm thinking, the Epstein files. Folks, this is what I'm thinking. And I thought it is from day one. Okay? If it's not the brother-in-law, which the sheriff already cleared him, said no. The sheriff said no. Okay? So my guess would be it has to go back to her. To Savannah, right? She's the news girl. She's the news girl. She's the celebrity in the family. And it just so happens how many 84-year-old mothers get abducted? Raise your hand. None. None. But 84-year-old mothers are celebrities with a lot of money. Probably here we go. So that's why it's got to be tied back to her. She's the celebrity. And I'm telling you, I'm going back to 5 years, who she interviewed, who she pissed off. And I'm sitting down with her and saying, listen, I know this is hard. I know your mother's missing, but we got to sit here and think. And the FBI should interview her and say, who did you interview? Who seemed strange to you? Did anybody ever get mad at you? Did anybody ever threaten you because you did a certain news thing on them? And folks, people look for revenge. It might not have been last month, not have been a year from now. Criminals will take revenge 5 years later. So I would go back about 5 years with her and just go over every person she ever interviewed. That's the only thing I could think of, folks, because I'm thinking to myself, there is absolutely zero evidence. They went in, abducted an 84-year-old woman, and zero evidence? You think this was the perfect crime? Absolutely not. We are not being told everything. I'll be shocked if we are. There's no way this guy committed the perfect crime. There's no way. So I think we're going to find some stuff out soon. Okay? But right now, they're keeping it from us. For some reason, I believe that sheriff is keeping it from us. I really do. And guys, what do you all think? I see some comments here. What do you guys think? Because I'm telling you, I've never been a loss for words in a case as this one. Like, I don't know. And the interview, like I tried to get stuff from the interview was heartbreaking. And the interview, I believe them kids, and I'm calling them kids because they were her kids. I believe they believe the mother is kidnapped. I do believe that. I do believe that. And I believe the FBI does, or they wouldn't have told them to reach out to the kidnappers. But why haven't the kidnappers made contact yet? Yep, they sent that letter, but why didn't they make contact yet? Will they make contact again through TMZ? They might. So maybe when we wake up tomorrow, there'll be more news in this case. So, guys, I just wanted to come on. I wanted to spend my whole daily show on that and give you what I think. But I hate to say this, a guy of a million words, you know me, I'm always thinking. I'm having trouble with this case. Like, I don't know what happened. And I want to review it one last time we go off air. Just one last time. TMZ receives a ransom letter. The mother goes missing at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's blood outside the house. The Ring camera is gone. We have zero pictures, zero anything, zero evidence. We wake up, Ashley Banfield says she got sources that say they're looking into the brother in law, but the sheriff says no. Okay. Then late tonight, the family goes on air and pleads to the kidnappers that they're ready to talk, but they need proof of life to their mom. Proof of life. Now listen, could have been the letter, drop the money off. They didn't say how many millions. Drop $1 million somewhere or throw it into our bank account through Bitcoin and we'll give you your mom back. And they're saying, wait a second, we want proof of life. That could be too. That could be too. That the kidnappers are saying, throw it in the, put it in this account, send it here, send it there. But the family and the FBI is saying, wait a second, we want proof of life. But folks, if she don't have her medication, I'm scared for her. I'm scared for her. And then you got to think of who in their right fucking mind is gonna kidnap an 84-year-old woman. Not a good person. So I pray to God for this lady's safety. But I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. I'm pessimistic. I'm pessimistic. I really am. So, guys, I will go live again tomorrow. Even if I wait, if there's new information when I wake up tomorrow, I'll go live as soon as I wake up. As soon as I wake up. Guys, praying for this family because what I saw in the news today was heartbreaking. And I'll be honest with you, it choked me up. Tears coming out of my eyes because I'm thinking, what if it was my mother? Think about that. What if it was your mother? Horrendous, horrible. I can't even think about it. I love you guys all. I'll see you tomorrow. And listen, I'm going to stay off politics for a while till we solve this case because this case is more important than politics. And I want to shout out to our president because President Trump is doing everything he can for this lady. He's sending the elite Border Patrol troops to help search for her and everything. Trump is doing all he can. So shout out to the president because he's really doing a good job with this. All right, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow.